Good morning everybody. Today is a very exciting day because we're going to Canada on holiday. Can't wait. I'm Jill and behind the camera is Roger and we are Which Way Now? So yesterday we travelled from Heathrow to Calgary. A pretty long, boring flight, very, very crowded, so it was quite cosy, I think it's fair to say. And we arrived here at about 3:30. I went out for dinner and then we crashed out. And now it's 5:30 in the morning and we're both quite awake because we've had a lot of sleep. And we just wanted to come up and see what Banff was all about. We've been here before. It's an amazing place, as you can see from the peaks behind me. It is completely nestled in a little place in the middle of the mountains. It's absolutely amazing. And we're going to explore some of that today. On our wander around Banff very early this morning, because it is about 5:30, we found this lovely little church. Roger said it looked like it should be on the top of a wedding cake or something. It's absolutely beautiful. Sometimes it's definitely worth getting up at 5:30 in the morning when you get views like this. There's nobody around, it's absolutely gorgeous. And I've just seen over Roger's shoulder that mountain behind him looks absolutely amazing too.
Outside my window, is everything pale and cold? Can't seem to pick up my phone. It's been ringing all day long. Behind these clouds, I know the sun will be.
We've driven about 5 miles outside of Banff and are now on the Bow Valley Parkway. It's a scenic route between Banff and Lake Louise and runs parallel to the Trans-Canada Highway. This is our first stop of the day, and although the weather is actually not that great, the cloud is quite low and it's meant to rain later on, the scenery here is absolutely spectacular. Freight trains in Canada are absolutely massive, with some stretching to over 2.5 miles long. These generally have 2 engines at the front, one in the middle and one at the back. The Castle Mountain internment camp was built in 1915. Nationals of countries at war with Canada were sent here, and despite their civilian status, they were used as forced labour. The statue is entitled simply, "Why?"
Outside my window, is everything pale and cold? Can't seem to pick up my phone. It's been ringing all day long. Behind these clouds, I know the sun will be. But today's raining, so be patient with me. I'll be right. Somehow I must be somewhere the sky is blue. I'm too tired to sleep, too tired to do anything else than doing nothing. I'm too tired to rest, too tired I'm blue. Can't do nothing else than doing nothing. Inside my room, the heat's like a warm embrace. My bed feels like heaven. I lose track of time and space.
We're not sure what these are. They might be elk, they might be white-tailed deer. We think they're elk, but we'll check later on and find out. So we were driving along the road and saw somebody had stopped That's always a good sign. And we then looked left in the way they were looking, and in the distance we could see a bear. We very much hope we'll see others closer, but this was our first bear viewing this holiday.
I'm too tired to sleep, too tired to do anything else than doing nothing. I'm too tired to rest.
This is the viewpoint for the spiral tunnels. Now these spiral tunnels are quite interesting. They were designed to actually reduce the gradient that trains had to climb to go through the Rockies. The thing was, at this time there was no national railway in Canada, and Canadian Pacific, who were the railway, were trying to actually get a line that went all the way across Canada. And the Rockies were in the way, if you like. And before this they'd had something called the Big Hill, and the train struggled to climb up the hill, but they even had a problem coming down the other side, was even worse. So there was a lot of runaway trains and a number of people killed. And this model of spiral tunnels actually came from Switzerland, where obviously they're very used to mountains. And now the grade is now, I think it's about 2.2%, whereas before it was 4.5%, which doesn't sound very much because we're used to cars, but on a train that was a big, big hill. And the spiral tunnels are a figure of 8, and it reduces the grade quite considerably. We were lucky enough when we stopped at this place to actually see a train going through the tunnels. And on this video you can see the start of the train, which has actually come out of the tunnel, the middle of the train, which is going into one of the tunnels, and the end of the train before it even gets anywhere near the tunnels. This was quite a long train, about 160 carriages, but it certainly wasn't the longest one that we saw.
I've been hanging on, counting days, thinking it was me all along. Had a million conversations in my head about where it went wrong. And I've got no idea where you've been, who you are, not anymore.
This is Emerald Lake. Emerald Lake sits in Yoho National Park. Now Roger and I came to Canada a few years ago. We came across Yoho National Park, and Yoho in the Cree language actually means awe and wonder. And we decided to name our Land Rover Yoho, and so that's what he's named after, Yoho National Park.
So, you're someone I used to know, but nobody said it'd be easy. But maybe I should have known. One more drink to swallow it down. I gotta get you out of my mind, but nobody said it was easy.
Good morning everybody, welcome to Banff day 3. We're up early because we still haven't really recovered from the jet lag, I don't think, so it's just before 6 in the morning, and we're wide awake, not really surprising. Banff is an amazing place. It's very lucky, it's a year-round resort. As you can see, it's surrounded by mountains, and in the winter people come here to ski, and in the summer people come here to bike and to walk, and even maybe to swim in some of the lakes, although I think that would be very cold. We've been out for dinner. There's 3 nights that we've been here so far, and the food has been fantastic, not nearly as expensive as we thought it would be either, and the people are so friendly. It's a great place to be. So it's 7:20 in the morning, and we've come up here because we thought we'd get on one of the first gondolas up to the top of the mountain. So we're at Banff Gondola. It doesn't open till 8 o'clock, so we've now got a little bit of a wait. But as you can see from the car park, we are just the only people here at the moment. Nobody else is stupid enough to get up this early. Now we're on the Banff Gondola. We got the 3rd gondola going up the mountain this morning. It's 8 o'clock, the weather is absolutely gorgeous, and the views are amazing.
But nobody said it was easy.
So at the top of Sulphur Mountain, there's about a kilometre of boardwalks that you can take from the main bit where you come up in the gondola out to the weather station. And I have to say, it's all brilliantly done. Very safe, very clean, and just stunning views from every angle. So here we are at the top of Sulphur Mountain, and as you can see there are literally mountains all the way around us. And the ones over my shoulder to the right are the Sundance chain, I know that. There's so many that you can't remember the names of all of them, but it is just a stunning view. It is, yeah, it takes your breath away. And Banff town is below us, and it looks absolutely tiny, being 7,000 whatever it is feet up. But yes, it is quite astounding really. We've just seen a little cute little grey creature which we think is a pika, and yeah, it's beautiful up here. So we're at the very top of Sulphur Mountain. There's hardly anybody around. And what we've been reading about is the fact that apparently on the top of the mountain here, this is an old weather forecasting hut where they used to have meteorological instruments. And they started doing the weather from up here in 1903, more than 120 years ago, which is quite amazing. And they also used to have a cosmic ray station up here. I don't really know what that's all about, but it was apparently the International Geophysical Year or something, and they had this cosmic ray station along with 90 others around the world. I'm not sure quite what that was all about, but that was just here as well. So I've just read what the cosmic ray station was about. It was actually about exploring space, the origin of stars, supernovas, that kind of thing. And it was the idea, it was 1957, they had this International Geophysical Year, and the idea was to try and actually foster peace amongst nations, because there's still a lot of tensions at the time, Cold War, etc., etc. So the idea was it was trying to make peace amongst the nations, and Canada had 9 cosmic ray stations where people studied space, and this was one of them. We were toying with whether to actually come up here or not because it was quite expensive. It was 73 Canadian dollars, which is about £50 each. And there's us two, and there's my mum with us as well. So that was $220 odd, which it cost us to come up here. But it's so worth it. It's just a stunning view, and it's so peaceful up here as well. There's nobody else around. Absolutely amazing.